Hi, this is Charmaine from Two Shabby Shoes. Thanks for joining me in the studio today. I'm going to be showing you the new digital collection from Shabby Art Boutique, Victorian Romance. Victorian Romance is absolutely gorgeous kit, just so full of fussy cuts and pages of background pages, and it's available now in her Etsy shop, which I will be putting her links to her Etsy, to her newsletter, to her Facebook, Simply Shabalicious, in the description box below, so that you can go over and have a look at all the beautiful things that people are creating using her kits. And I will also be showing you my design team project for Victorian Romance, and then show you what I used to create the pages for the design team project. So Victorian Romance is definitely about romance and just so beautiful. The cherubs that she uses, there's postcards and love letters, and just absolutely gorgeous. These are the full sheets that I've printed out for you to see. And within the download, Carrie Ann does provide us with with an elements file, which some of these pieces come separately, and you can create your own pages from the elements that she provides you in the file, and it's absolutely remarkable and fun. I use Printmaster Plus when I do mine. I did a few of the elements on top of pages in my design team project, which I will show you, and then you can resize and customize to your needs. But it's just absolutely beautiful, these full pages. And then she provides us with the journal pages that just flung across the room. And she provides us with journal pages so that you can just cut the edges off, fold it in half, and you have basically a journal already made, or a notepad. You can make a folio out of them. Just so cute. It's already resized for you. And these are actually the full-size sheets that she puts together for you in the smaller size, so that all you have to do is print and cut. And I've printed on both sides, and this one was a misprint. On my particular printer, I finally made a note to myself which way to flip the paper, because, you know, inevitably I was flipping it the wrong direction, but then I got it right. So these are misprints, but they can still be used to cut them up to make tags and or background pages for other projects. So I won't be wasting them. But these are journal pages, and then she gives us the tags. Look how beautiful. Oh my gosh, they just come out so gorgeous. Postcards and different size stamps, and I just use I have a scalloped edge scissor, and I just flip the scissors over and cut them backwards so that you get that perforated stamp look on the end. Or you can use your pinking shears if you have some of those. And fussy cuts. Look how beautiful. Writing love letters to the one you love. It's a lost art, writing letters now, because of technology. We do tend to send things in text messages now, other than, you know, holidays and anniversary cards. These are pockets and tabs so that you can create tab sections if you want to for your journal. Look at these pictures. Look how sweet they are. Just so sweet. And she's provided us different sizes. There's 3 different sizes of the photographs, and they're just the sweetest thing. Sweet romance, sweet Victorian romance. Look at that. This one, she's carrying her across the stream. So sweet. And these are some of the long envelopes. And then here are some of the regular size ones, and they're already marked for score lines. So all you have to do is, I like to print on both sides so that the inside of my envelope has printing on it as well. And then there's score lines for you to fold on. And then you get some of the words and phrases, which are so sweet and delicate. So you can see that you do get a very large amount in Carrie Ann's kits. I will be putting the links in the description box below so that you can, all you have to do is click on it. It'll take you right to her pages and you can check out all the beautiful things that she has to offer. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up all of this stuff, and then I'm going to show you my design team project that I created using this fabulous, fabulous kit. I'll be right back. So here is my design team project for Victorian romance. Isn't that just beautiful? I have created a 2-ring bound journal, and the pages are actually from a sign from the Dollar Tree. And this is what the sign looks like. Look at this. You can buy these and take it apart super easy just by pulling this apart, taking off this. And honestly, when I show you inside, I did not do anything to the top of these. I just glued my paper right on the top. Only thing I did do was paint a little bit around the edges because I didn't want this to be brown for my journal. I wanted it to be white, and I used a chalk style paint, and so as I keep using it, the brown is showing through, so it makes it look more vintage style. But you can see the shape of these and the size is absolutely perfect. And I just made a template for the papers and I cut them out, and I recommend that you leave a little bit of extra around the on the paper so that once you glue it onto the heart, then you can use the knife or scissors and cut around it to get a nice edge on it. Although in the end, most of my pages have edges on them with laces and trims, so it doesn't show anyway. But anyway, and I use a little bit of sandpaper and some of it to get some of the nibs off of it where I didn't get it cut just right. But you can see that I have resized a lot of the ephemera that comes in the kit to accommodate the tiny size of the journal. And I've some buttons and doilies and some sari ribbon and some beaded applique dangles. And I made a dangle with some little love letters and a painted key that I did and some beadwork and a charm. And this is the paper behind here, and I've layered on some fabulous tooling that I received from my friend Lynn, and she gave me this trim as well. Majority of all of the trims I had in my stash, and this is a rosette with a tulle rosette with a bling button in the center. And I had because the hearts are, it's like a chipped wood. I don't know if they call it chipboard, or it's not cardboard and it's not wood. It's kind of in between, and it's very, very firm. And I was fortunate that my husband had his drill press out, and so I just had him drill holes in my pages for me. And I mean, I could have done it myself, but he had it out, so why not? So I have, here I have resized and some of the images from the Elements file and layered it on top. And it actually, because it's such a beautiful image, I didn't want to cover it up once I had put it on my heart. So I just cut out another one and glued it on top and made a tuck spot pocket out of there. And it actually holds quite a bit. And then this one, I used some vintage rhinestone trim, and I created a pocket, a little tuck spot with some polka dot ribbon that I had. Just the sweetest little couple. I just love it. And then this is, I made a little envelope and put one of the stamps and one of the fussy cuts here. And then I just crinkled up a piece of paper and distressed it with some of the ink oxide to make it look more vintage. And then used the fussy cut of the rose to make it a tuck to hold it closed. And this is, again, it's another one of the pages, the images, and I just cut that off. This is also one of the pages. And then I sized down the photographs that she gave us, and I layered them on top and just made one stackable tag to write on, and then just included a few of the tags that she provides in the kit. And this one is so sweet. And this is the one of the papers. And I took one of the fussy cuts and made a tuck spot out of it. And then I layered the fussy cut hearts. And I had printed on the back of most of it. And I just glued a little doily on there and made a dangle with an X and an O and a heart charm. And all of the trims are different, and that one does seem like it's coming off, so I will have to glue that back on. Aw. Yeah, see, if you don't use enough, I'm always afraid I'm going to use too much and then it's going to ooze out. And I did use the Fabri-Tac to put my trims on in this particular project. And the Fabri-Tac is kind of a cold, hot glue, if that makes any sense. It grips and dries pretty quickly, but when it dries, it dries with a shine. So if you put too much on, you do run the risk of it having a little, glisten in certain areas. And so I try not to put too much so I don't have the oozing. And then in this particular case, I didn't get enough, so I'll have to go back and fix that part. But you can see here, you can see the edge of the wooden heart. You can see that right there. You can see I just painted it a little bit. And here I've used 2 appliques. These are for a collar. So there's a left and a right. And that way I could make a mirrored embellishment. And then just put some of the ephemera into the little pockets. Put a little bit of tulle behind there. Actually, that's cheesecloth. Not tulle, it's cheesecloth. And this trim I've had for years and years and years. I'm running out, and it's so delicate and so dainty. It's so perfect for this project. This was one of the fussy cuts, a little envelope with some flowers, so I just made a little tuck spot out of it. And I under-embellished the inside because if you've ever done a ring-bound journal before, the size of the rings are determined by the thickness of the actual journal. And the larger the ring, the less appealing it is to me, if that makes any sense. They just become very large and sort of leggy. And so I wanted it to be smaller and less noticeable, I guess, but still functional. So I did very little embellishing on the inside. In fact, I tried to do, like every other page, have any type of lace or appliques inside, but then I got carried away towards the end, but that ultimately, the thinner it is on the inside, the better the rings are going to work. And although I have seen some fabulous ring-bound journals, but I have yet to master how to get them to be flat enough. But here's another applique, and this is one of the background papers, and I put the element on top, and I used a heart punch that I have to make a tag out of it. And then I've taken the envelopes and I resized them, and it's actually a fussy cut. It's not a true envelope. And so I just layered them on top to make them look like a stack of envelopes. Too cute. And then back here, I did basically the same thing, but with some of the postcards, and I just layered them on top. And I kept the back of the journal as flat. Now, see here, there we go. As flat as possible, so that when it lays on the table, when I want to use it, it's not lumpy like the front is, because the front is pretty lumpy. But you see how it is very thick and wants to be an alligator mouth. And I had some the next size ring. These are 1.25 inches, and I had the 1.5 inch rings, and it made this lay much flatter, and I was happy with that, but I didn't have the right color. So I had to go with the smaller ring in order to get the look that I wanted. And one of the things that I want to do, and if you've done this before, please let me know. I would like to distress my rings so that I can get them to match, look more antique. So I'm going to try with some staining, and then maybe spray them with some lacquer or a varnish, because I don't want the dye or the stain, whichever I use, to rub off onto my project. So I'm going to spray it in hopes that as it's worn, it's not going to rub off as quickly. So anyway, there's my design team project for Shabby Art Boutique's Victorian Romance, and I hope you enjoyed it. I had an amazing time creating this. It's so pretty, and I just love Shabby Art Boutique's design so much. And again, thank you for joining me in the studio today. I hope you had a good time. I did. Thank you. Bye.